Now let's look at memory. What is memory? Memory is a place we store information. Now, we largely know two different types of memories. One is computer memory, other is human memory. Do you know what is difference between those two? The big difference, right? So computer chips looks like this, right? This is a kind of old computer card. It's a graphics card. It's a graphics processor, and this has heat exchange, etc. But there is lots of memory on that. And if I want to show you the memory, this is the memory. This is how it looks. This is called random access memory, RAM. Each this card has four different chips. Each of them have 256 MB. It's a very old one, right? Now it's in GBs. Now, how is computer memory used? Computer memory is used by like a rack. So lots of things are kept in a rack, like in Walmart or in any convenience store. And if you want something, let's say you want bread, then you know where the bread is, you go there and fetch the bread. That's it. That's how computer memory works. That computer memory is linear, right? Things are stored one after the other. Like in a Walmart rack, you have bread and cereals and milk, and there is a section for something else. There is a section for grocery, there is a section for toiletries, there is a section for everything, right? So that's how in a computer, the memory, the information is stored in a memory in like these racks. Now, the difference between human memory and computer memory is vast. Human memory is stored, all of it is in our brain, right? There is some memory outside somewhere here, but typically the memory is stored all in our brain. And our brain is composed of many neurons. Brain cell is called a neuron. Do you know how many neurons we have? We have 86 billion neurons in an adult brain. In a child's brain, it's a little less, little more. But in adult brain, there are 86 billion neurons. They look like this. It's a mesh. And all of them are connected with so many different neurons. Many. So there are many connections. So the number of connections is 100 trillion. Trillion with a T. Billion is 10 to power 9, trillion is 10 to power 12. So 100 trillion connections are in our brain. And memory, when you remember something, that means you are forming new connections. That's it. When you form new connections, you say that you have remembering something new. Now, our memory is not linear. Our memory is not arranged like a Walmart. Our memory is associative. What do I mean by that? Associative memory means I learn new things or I remember new things related to, based upon, connected to what I already know before. This is how our memory is different. Computer doesn't learn like that. Computer just keeps the memory like a rack. We have a mesh of hooks. Our memory is a mesh of hooks. You throw new information onto it, it will remember some things based on what you already know before. So when you are trying to learn something, you should definitely try to learn something based on what you already know before. So now let's look at a neuron in detail. That's a neuron. This is the main neuron cell. It has a nice big stem. It goes and divides into many tentacles. It's called dendrites. And there are things called axon. And these dendrites of different neurons go and make a connection. Now, these connections are kind of shown here. So this is one of the dendrites, and this is the subdendrite of one other neuron, and they are forming a connection. That is the connection right there. So this is how we learn. We memorize. We learn and memorize. When we learn and memorize, what happens inside our brain is we make new connections. And we make new connections based on how interesting that information is, how unusual that information is, how out of ordinary that information is, how sensory that information is. If the information coming in is connected to various emotions, if the information connected to a lot of different senses, touch, taste, sight, smell, and hearing, if that information has more sensory input, if that information has more emotional input, if that information has some more strong connection to what you have already learned before, if that information is something unusual, if that information is funny, if that information is memorable, then you are going to remember it more with better probability. If that information is something mundane, if that information is something usual, if that information is something that you anyway expect it to be, if that information is dull, drab, and very boring, like history, dates, and some names and some bunch of faces, you're not gonna be able to remember it very well. You're not a computer. I am not a computer. I would like to have a chip in my head where I pour some information and just sticks there. No, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't, unfortunately. So, if you want to get better memory, what you need to do is you need to make that information more sensory, meaning connect it to different senses, make it touchy, feely, soundy, sighty, make it very interesting, make it unusual, make it small, make it big, make it ridiculous, make it connected to some different emotions, make it hilarious. Anytime you are learning, anytime you are learning or trying to memorize something, use these techniques. Why? Because that's how your brain remembers. Your brain does not like boring information. Your brain does not like mundane information. So please remember, whenever you try to learn something, whenever you try to memorize something, make it interesting, make it memorable, make it connected to some emotions, put some comedy in it, make it funny, because funny things you will remember more. Now, let me tell you an interesting thing about deja vu. You know what is deja vu? Have you heard? Have you have had deja vu? Deja vu is a phenomenon by which you feel that I've been in this situation before. Has it ever happened to you? This situation, this particular circumstances, this is the way the things are arranged. That person said that before already. I've seen it before. I've felt it before. I've experienced it. And at that point of time, you are very, very confident that you have been in that situation before. But that phenomenon is called deja vu. It's not real. You have not been in that situation before. We cannot time travel. We cannot go back in time. We cannot go forward in time. We are stuck in this time. Time is just going straight down, down. You can't change that. Then what is deja vu? Let's look at it, okay? Memory, our memory has 4 parts. How many? 4 parts. First part, let's say you're going on a night, if you're going in a car, and lots of shops are going by, you quickly capture what shops are there, right? or you're looking at something, you close your eyes, you can see that thing for a little bit amount of time. Even after closing the eyes, you can imagine or see that thing for a little bit amount of time, because that thing, whatever you are seeing or hearing, is gone into the first very, very short stage of memory. Second stage of memory is called working memory. Working memory. It's something that is right in front of your brain. We're going to see it next, very detail. Third stage of memory is kind of medium term memory, meaning it's not working memory. Working memory is very small. I mean, you can only keep 2 or 3 or 4 things at the front of your mind at any given time. But medium term memory is like what happened today, what was happening yesterday, things like that. Medium term, not like what happened 10 years ago. That's not in medium term. That's gone in long term. That's the fourth stage. Now, what happens is this. Okay, it's very interesting. So the memory, the information is flowing from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3 to stage 4. Correct? The stage 3 to stage 4 happens during sleep, especially the deep sleep, the REM sleep. Your medium term memory is converted to long term memory in your sleep. That's why sleep is so important. Sleep is not a useless waste of time. It's very important to learn, to memorize for our well being. It's absolutely important. But sometimes accidents do happen. Now, information is flowing from short term memory, like the not called let's not call short term memory, the sense organ memory, which is like the first, very short, then working memory, then medium term memory, and then long term memory. Sometimes what happens is when the information is going from first to second stage, it goes well. But while going from second to third stage, sometimes if the third stage is overwhelmed, it reflects it back. Think about it carefully. Information is going from stage 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 in the night, 1 to 2, 3 during the daytime. And this information flow, the direction, gives you sense of time. Your sense of time comes from the information flowing from 1 to 3 to 4, stage 1 to 2 to 3. Sometimes stage 3 reflects it back and the information comes back to you from stage 3 to stage 2. Information comes back to you from stage 3 to stage 2, and that's when you feel deja vu. You feel, I have been in this situation before. This seems so familiar. She said that already. See, this situation, the way it is, that's how it was before as well. Somewhere, you're not sure. No, it's just an accident. Information going from stage 1 to 2 to 3 reflects back from 3 and comes to 2. The second stage doesn't know that information is coming back. It doesn't know. It feels that it only knows the information comes from future and goes to past. Some information now have reverse direction. Then you felt, I have seen this before. That's the origin of deja vu. So remember, memory, to recap, our memory is associative. Our memory is not like this computer chip. You can't just stick a lot of stuff in your memory. You can't. You must make information interesting, engaging, sensory, all these 5 senses that you have, emotional, funny, exaggerated, unexpected, unusual. If you can make anything you are learning this way, you will learn faster. You will remember more. Find any way to make things interesting. Our brain wants to sleep when things are coming in a dull, drab, mundane, usual, expected way. Have you ever seen you're trying to study or you're trying to read something, you're trying to learn something, and your brain wants to sleep? It doesn't want to stay there. It wants to go do something interesting. Why? because brain is hungry for information, but that information must be sensory, emotional, unexpected, something big, something small, something unusual, something connected to enjoyment, something connected to fun. That's what your brain wants. So, I hope you learned what memory is, how our memory is different from a computer memory, and how you should try to make everything interesting by doing something unusual or unexpected to it. Make it into a game, and that's how you will learn to learn fast. You will learn to memorize fast. This is Dr. Ninad from Inner Labs.